2014 Ford Explorer 4-wheel drive with a 3.5 in it. Non-turbo, of course. And what you're looking at right there is the purge valve control on the lamp scope, okay? Now this is a ground side controlled solenoid, and I'm in the control wire from the computer, and the purge valve, or I've got my vacuum hose hooked up to the purge valve, okay? Now I've got the vehicle running, and we're on a 10% duty cycle. The codes it came in for was a P0455 large leak and a 457 for gas cap issue, okay? I was at another shop, they cleaned the gas cap out, you know, it's got the capless system, and it's back. Apparently they put a purge valve in it. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me, but I don't know if you can see that. On the top of the cap there, I do believe that is some wings. So, let me go back out. Go back in the scanner here, and you can see I've got my canister purge valve percentage at 40%. So let's bump that up to, let's just go to 100%. Still no vacuum. Let's go back out. Let's go back to our scope, and again, we've got our duty cycle, 100% duty cycle. Now we can measure the frequency of that. So we'll go into our graphing multimeter. Frequency. And what are we getting there? 20 hertz? 20 hertz. Let's try changing the duty cycle a little bit. We'll come down to 50%. Come on. Okay, so I got her adjusted down to 50% on the scan tool. And we're out of scale here, so let's that's interesting. Well, it didn't like it with it running, so that's a variable you gotta be considerate of. Consider when it's running, it screws with the pulse width. So I've got the key on, engine off right now. I'm just gonna come up to a 60%. Hopefully, yeah, it's not clicking at all anymore. Or is it? Yeah, before it was clicking. So let's see what we got. With the key on, engine off, what are we at, 60%? %60 duty cycle on a 2-second screen. I'm going rising edge. Oh my goodness, my fingers are not working today. Alright, so rising edge to what, falling? How long is that? 28.29 hertz. So you can see right there, 28.29 hertz. Let's try, you know, give or take. Let's see what it does when I go to 100. There's 100. Again, we're plugged into the purge valve right now. Let's record. Stop. 28.29, no change. Let's try unplugging it. Let's see what happens if I unplug it. Yeah, so there's the I believe that's the bias voltage we're seeing there, that 2.5. And then you can see the computer is purging. Now, I can't really trust this bidirectional control, but given the fact that it doesn't matter, it's not purging. I mean, that's a bad solenoid, guys. Listen, I'll plug it back in. You can hear it. Unplug it. Plug it in. Unplug it. Dorman. So I've got original coming from Ford. We're going to check that one once we get it, because my faith level in a Dorman purge valve, obviously, we all know. And I guess I could show you too. Got my test light hooked to B negative right now. I'm just going to show you that the power feed is there. That's going to be our green wire. Oh, which pin is that? This one. So, there you go. So we got a good power feed. We obviously have computer control. It just doesn't like the wings of glory. To show you, I'm at a 0% duty cycle on that purge valve right now. Key on, engine off. And I am unplugged right now. Yes, unplugged. And you see how that's still, that computer is still pulling that down to ground? No, that is not a problem, because for whatever reason, the Snap-on bidirectional, if I exit out, and I go back, and I just want to make sure everyone, you know, is aware of this. Let's see, what do I gotta go to? Scope. Boom, it's gone. You see that? So you can't trust that. We could test it against the Autel. Let's do that. Just note, if you were to test this and switch this to be positive and go to the control wire with the test light, you're gonna have a real dim flashing test light, and that's because of the duty cycle purge. It's not a 100% switched ground, you know, it's pulse width modulated, so keep that in mind. All I'm doing here, guys, is just checking the maxi pad versus the Zeus and see what their bidirectional differences are as far as this purge valve duty cycle. I've got the scope still hooked up, key on, engine off, 2.5 volts, or, you know, 2.5 volts on that bias voltage on that control wire for that purge valve, which is disconnected. I know it needs a purge valve, but I just want to see the difference. Alright, what do we want to go? PCM? Active test. Slow. Alright. Canister purge valve duty cycle. Let's see what the difference is now. What in the world is going on here? Okay. Not sure what that was all about. Okay, so duty valve Okay, let's increase 10%. Decrease back to 0. Gone. Increase 10%. 20%. See if we can see it. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. That's full bore, baby. There you go. Let me decrease. I'm going to come all the way back down to 0. You can see that that pulse width is changing on the bias voltage on that purge valve. And we are at 0, and unlike the Snap-on, this tool right here, it's bi-directional. That canister purge valve actually shuts it all the way off. So don't get burned by that, guys. Don't go down a rabbit's hole. For any of you guys kind of new to this stuff, a lot of you guys probably already know this, but there you go. One fault against that Zeus right there. Not a bad scan tool for other things, but you know, Autel for the win on that one. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I am going to get part 2 done once I get the valve from Ford.